Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've got a story for you today. The second largest bank in Korea is now confirmed to be a Ripple client, so I'm going to be running through some of the details on that with you. I've got a story also which I find to be ridiculous, but it's in crypto media. I gotta tell you about this, and it's entertaining nonetheless, but there's an article about John McAfee, it's McAfee, right? John McAfee promoting a hard fork of Ripple. Yeah. Going to run through that, and then I've got an XRP community member who, in terms of price movement, thinks that the lowest price for XRP that you'll have seen all year already happened, and it was yesterday. Thinks that those numbers are done. You're not going to see anything lower than what you saw yesterday in all of 2019, so I'm going to share the specifics of that opinion with you. And then the last thing I'm going to cover, I just found kind of fascinating. This is a piece from Daily Hodl, and it's titled, Survey Says Americans Are Embracing Digital Tokens for Purchases, with Gen Z in the lead. Now, before we get going here, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, well, thank you very much for stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel so that we can be best friends. So let's get back into the first piece here, and this is from the XRP Daily. This is Alex Cobb's website, and he put this piece out today. And I had not seen this anywhere else, so total kudos to Alex Cobb for sure here. So he can title, The Second Largest Bank in Korea Now a Confirmed Ripple Client. Today we have some really good news surrounding one of the largest banks in Korea and their relationship with Ripple. First off, I would like to give credit to valued XRP community member and researcher at XRP Center for finding this information and sharing it with us today. So I should really say kudos to XRP Research Center in addition to Alex Cobb, who put this story together. So kudos to both. This information actually comes from a recent presentation from Sagar Sarbhai, and I'm sorry, I'm fairly confident I butchered that. It's just what I do. Oh, I'm so masterful with words. Anyway, Sagar Sarbhai at Ripple, which shows Korea's second largest bank, Shinhan, as a confirmed Ripple customer. So this means that Ripple now has the second largest bank in Korea on their client list, as well as the fifth largest bank in Korea. So you can see here's the tweet on the screen right now from XRP Research Center. And so it's a presentation by Sagar Sarbhai. It shows those two banks anyway as Ripple customers. So it's Shinhan Bank ENG, that's the second largest, and then Worry Bank, which is the fifth largest. So Ripple out there killing it anyway. And then the piece continues here. Shinhan Bank is shown at the left in the middle. We did previously know that Shinhan Bank ran a trial with Ripple back in 2017, but we did not know until now that they are actually a confirmed Ripple customer. Because because an institution trials Ripple's technology does not mean they are a confirmed Ripple client. But now we know Ripple has the second largest bank in Korea on their side due to one of the latest Ripple presentations. Lots of major banks are working with Ripple, and for good reason. They see massive opportunity in Ripple's technology, as well as the digital asset XRP. So presumably, these banks would be running just X Currents. The thing when it comes to XRapid, it's just there may very well be banks right now running XRapid that we just don't know. Maybe they don't want their competitors to know. It just hasn't been announced. We know, I think, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure out of the 20-plus customers of Ripple's that are using XRapid today, which uses XRP, of course, I think we know 6 of them, I want to say. I apologize if I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure 6 have officially announced. So it's a small percentage of them. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to speculate that perhaps some banks are using it today, but they don't want the word out, and Ripple can't release this news until their clients say, yes, it's okay to announce this. Or if the bank would want to announce it on their own, that's perfectly fine too. But if they want to keep a competitive edge and keep things hush-hush, that makes sense. But in terms of banks using XRapid, given that the whole ecosystem is still getting built out, you can't use it everywhere because you need pools of liquidity the world over in different countries. If you want to convert from one fiat currency to another in a different country, you need to have XRapid-enabled exchanges, and we're only aware of a few of those right now. So you can't use XRapid the world over yet, but it is coming. And you can see Ripple's doing a great job laying the groundwork here, specifically by getting onboarding, oh my god, so many, what is it, like 250 customers, and the vast majority of them using Xcurrent, right? So it happens in steps here, but it's going to come. And then as XRapid gets enabled after that, as pools of liquidity come on board and as demand increases, you can imagine what that would do for the demand of XRP as speculators, whether they're institutional investors or just retail investors like you and I, just understand that businesses need XRP in order to continue conducting business in the capacity in which, the way in which that they're actually conducting it. And so that's at that point, when the world starts to understand it, that's the point when XRP will begin to decouple further from Bitcoin. And it may not happen all at once. You can already see technically, cryptocurrencies, they don't literally move exactly in tandem with Bitcoin, just overall they do. If you zoom out on a chart, the way in which Bitcoin and XRP move, it looks remarkably similar. And so I think it'll kind of happen as more and more people understand, you'll start to see a slow decoupling of XRP and Bitcoin, but it's just going to take some time, just as more and more people get it. To a certain degree, that's already underway. If you think about it, people like you and I, we actually did our research, or maybe you're new and you're still learning, in which case, welcome to the Moon Lambo channel. But certain people do understand this, and that's the reason that XRP is third in market cap. So it's not fair to say that nobody gets it. I get it, and if you're listening, you probably get it, or you're in the process of learning. But it's just, that's why I've said before, as far as it pertains to XRP is the least tethered to Bitcoin in terms of price action of any of the top 10 cryptocurrencies. But it is still fair to say that, of course, XRP is moving based on the nonsensical price movements of Bitcoin. So it's fair to say that, I think. All right, let me go ahead and jump into the next piece here, which I find kind of silly, but it's interesting, so I'm going to cover it. John McAfee and a Ripple hard fork promotion ? John McAfee might have been running from the IRS in the past years, but one thing is true. He would promote many things to make some good money off it. He would shill for anything if the money is good, and if it is in crypto, it is much better. All he waits for is an offer, and he just got one on Monday, September 23rd. In a recent tweet, he stated it and even got an offer from notable crypto enthusiast and XRP investor Crypto Bitlord. Oh yes, he's back in the news. Here is their thread and what this could mean if McAfee says yes. So here's the tweet from John McAfee. I get thousands of requests for financial help each year. Thousands. I am always willing to help if the help is mutual and beneficial. I am currently a promoter and one if the best. He probably means one of the best, but he wrote one if the best. Which is in lines with crypto media, because not only, so crypto media doesn't check their work before publishing it, and John McAfee is moving in lockstep, at least in similar style, right? So that's cool. Then he writes, I work for cash in advance. Got cash, ? Smiley, smiley. Okay, McAfee's tweet drew the attention of Crypto Bitlord, who offered to pay him coins because he has, quote, some work coming up. So Crypto Bitlord wrote, got some coins, I've got some work coming up, you keen, Keen, ? And then the piece continues, Crypto Bitlord's followers believe that he wants to pay McAfee to promote a Ripple hard fork that the former was already planning for a while. The XRP investor has indeed promised a hard fork Ripple, and now he is looking forward to getting McAfee on the team. Could this be serious? And if yes, what will the consequences be? Well, let me just shut this down right now. I don't believe for a moment that this is happening. If you're talking about a quote-unquote fork, the closest you're probably going to get to that is if it literally take the code and copy it, and then it's a completely new cryptocurrency. Well, freaking go ahead. I don't care. I doubt that's going to happen, but all of the people building on top of the XRP ledger, it's not like they're suddenly using this forked or cloned version of a coin. That's silly and doesn't make any damn sense. So, yeah, that's the meat of this. I don't really want to cover the rest of this piece. They just talk a little bit more about McAfee and how he shills coins and this and that. That's their opinion anyway. I'm just covering this. So, yeah. Now, on the off chance this happens, I will bring up this article again in the future. In the off chance that McAfee starts talking about XRP and forking it, but I can't imagine. This is just a silly piece that got into crypto media. But there you are. Now you know. You can sleep easy at night. All right, next here. This is a tweet, 2 tweets actually, from @XRP CryptoWolf, who sent this to my inbox. So yesterday, he tweeted this out. XRP wicked all the way down to 22 cents but the bears can never fully break strong support at 24 cents since they can never get it to close below 24 cents. I have a theory that Ripple sold XRP around those prices, so support is always defended every single time by the XRP dip. And again, that's from XRP Crypto Wolf. Then he wrote today, while including this so basically, it must have just been a retweet, and then he wrote this today. He wrote, looks like I was spot on with my call and theory. I have a feeling that yesterday, September 24th, was the lowest XRP will ever go this year, so hopefully the worst has already passed so we can start uptrending into a bull market in fourth quarter of December, specifically. XRP community, how many of you bought the XRP dip? Well, I'm sure plenty of people did. Obviously, the price bounced back from 22 cents to, I meant to pull it up before I recorded this video, but when I looked a little earlier today, it was like 24 point something cents. I don't know, 24 and a half cents. So it certainly rebounded a little bit. So tell me what you think, though. Is that the worst we're going to see for 2019, or are worse things in store? I don't know because I don't make price predictions, but I'm curious to hear what those, especially chart analysts, have to say on the topic here. All right, last piece for this video. From Daily Hodl, survey says Americans are embracing digital tokens for purchases, with Gen Z in the lead. A new study by Big Four accounting firm KPMG shows that U.S. consumers are increasingly willing to make purchases using blockchain-based tokens. Says Arun Ghosh, KPMG U.S. blockchain leader, quote, tokenization is ushering in the next generation of commerce. It provides inspiring new ways to classify value, either by creating new assets or reimagining traditional ones, sustained with the security and transparency of blockchain. Businesses that take advantage of tokenization can open the door to entirely new process improvements, revenue streams, and customer engagement opportunities. And then the piece continues here. According to the study, about 1/3 of consumers are highly familiar with blockchain-based tokens, with 63% agreeing that tokens are an easy form of payment and 55% believing tokens will enable them to make better use of loyalty reward points. Let me scroll down a little bit. I don't want to cover 100% of this thing, but there's some bullet points here. And they got a little subsection titled Key Findings, so I wanted to run through these because I do find this interesting. So, first bullet point. 82% of consumers are willing to use tokens as part of an existing loyalty program. Next, 81% would trust the use of tokens more readily if they are already participating in a company's loyalty program. Next one, no demographic is more accepting of tokenization than Generation Z. Next bullet point, 83% of Americans surveyed, ages 18 to 24, are interested in the future of tokens. Next bullet point, over half of older Americans ages 65 and up say they are also interested in the future of tokens. Next bullet point, 78% of Americans are more willing to use tokens with companies they already buy from. Next, 79% of Americans would be more willing to use them if they're proven to be simple enough to use. Next bullet point, 45% of consumers with high familiarity of tokens are concerned about fraud-related issues. Next is 42% of Americans believe tokens are useful in gaming specifically. And there are actually lots of, including Ripple partners, lots of blockchain companies out there that are intending to use cryptocurrency specifically in gaming. So we'll see where that leads. Kind of curious. But anyway, and then the last bullet point is 60% of Americans are more likely to use tokens to make payments to small businesses. And then the piece states, the study also finds that high loyalty industries such as banks, credit card companies, products/services, restaurants, fast food, coffee shops, electronics companies, and media telecom companies will have the easiest time developing token programs for their customers. So heading irreversibly in a much more liquid world than we are in today. That's how I see it anyway, personally. With the majesty that is blockchain, you can get in and out of all sorts of assets. Well, should be able to anyway once regulations catch up, without a bunch of paperwork and high fees. Just imagine real estate being much easier to buy and sell, which I think is what Propy's doing, which I don't know a whole lot about. I've read a little bit on it, but it sounds like that's something that they're kind of tackling. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but Michael Arrington of Arrington XRP Capital, he seems to be a strong proponent for Propy, and I think it's PROPY if you're curious to take a look at that. I haven't talked about it much on the channel, but it's kind of fascinating just the way that things are going. But I guess that's it for this video. I better just wrap this up. I don't want it to go too long. But thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate all the support. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!